feminist and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money that count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look it down. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like so funny.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Stadium
ladies and gentlemen.
Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
This is going to be the second match between the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings this year. First matchup was a blowout in Detroit. Let's see what happens this time. Next.
Between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And they looked awfully good
last
6
week.
6-16. With a 2-touchdown victory. They did have
I don't know if you have a shot being in the playoffs.
But all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
That's all because I have a #1 defense.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Plays like that tell you why I'm the #1 defense.
2nd down, Cousins.
Oh, shot out an interception there.
It brings up 3rd. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make
That's the kind of stuff I needed, D.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get pressure.
Damn.
Vickings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And Ingram holds it in. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield.
Folded like a lawn chair.
Folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 3rd down, Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be caught at the 30.
Taylor Gabriel, touchdown Detroit.
his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. That was a nice little setup there off play action for the long touchdown pass.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, it brings back bad memories for a guy like me as a former defensive back, because in a playbook I knew a long time ago, we described that play pattern as draw pass 9 go, meaning fly pattern after the play action pass, try and hit him for the deep ball, and boy, were they successful on that one. So tough because his speed is so great. You've got to make sure you don't miss any cues or keys in order to try and keep up with him.
Draw pass 9 go. That's still a nightmare to this day.
Yeah, I still wake up in the middle of the night and feel the guy going past me.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll make the score 14-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go and everything is wide open and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone
almost overran it.
Out of this grouping we currently have, and by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run.
At the end of one in Minneapolis, it is 14-0 Lions.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on first down. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Official foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Oh, what a move. And this play gets
down.
Yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
We know that the big guys won't give the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
One for one so far.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
First sack, first turnover, first defensive touchdown.
Touchdown, Lions. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
All in one play.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First down, here's Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now a second down throw for Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A good return there, 17 yards. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and
Devontae Booker. Look at him go.
20. Touchdown, Detroit. Devontae Booker, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They're going to try and run. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure.
Miss me.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
A second down throw for Cousins. It's caught on the right side. Williams. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins, and he finds Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Cousins on 1st down. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Nice play, Chef Jalen Ramsey.
Remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And now this will be the final play of the half, as with no time remaining, they'll try and add 2 more to the lead right before intermission. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he's going to go down in the field of play, so they say no to the field goal try, and time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes.
Ooh.
Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. Dances by him. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
He finds an opening past the 40. There he goes, right side.
There we go.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was
Oh, my God.
for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Goskowski now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a
Damn, big third down conversion.
Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A spin. That good for 19 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Able to slither by, and now running right through it. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Lions just continue to pour it on.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at
come
maximum.
on. You can't give the guy a skirt steak his first 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Cousins to throw it. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll set up to throw. And that's incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
You figure down in the red zone, the play call that's going to come in, find the guy who's most susceptible, the guy that you think that you can beat. In this case, they tried to pick on the rookie, and he was actually up to the challenge.
Yes, he was. Solid job knocking that away. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll run it. This is Booker.
Damn, all right.
He's hit and taken down to the backfield. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force 1 more play before the 2-minute warning. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, here's Cousins. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Vikings on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Booker on 1st down. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Shifts free at the 15. Oh, now he bowls him over. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That good for 19 at a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run with Booker. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that will extend this big lead. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Cousins. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The point after try for Gostkowski.
This is why I have the #1 defense.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage. Okay. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Here's Cousins, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that...
And he's going to go down again. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Detroit, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yes, I am. Sweet. I'll see you next game. Sweet. I'll see you next game.